Welcome live to Racing Hotspot Weekend Roundup. I am your host, Devin Poslusny. Tonight, Dave will be with us, but after the break for the NASCAR segment, he'll be on Skype because he had seen some car troubles. We won't get into it. Take a look at our show lineup here. Motorsports 16, then we have our Formula 1 topic. Global Rallycross race Saturday night. The 2D United Sports Car Championship race Friday night. We'll take a break. On the other side of the break, we'll have our NASCAR review, the Points Championship, and the final lap. Motorsports in 60, two topics tonight. 60 seconds starts now. NASCAR Camping Truck Series raced at Eldora on Wednesday night. Here's top 5. Finishing 5th, Ty Dillon. Kenny Schrader finished 4th. Ryan Blaney finished 3rd. Ron Hornaday Jr. finished 2nd. And Darrell Wallace Jr. tamed the dirt and won the race. The NASCAR Nationwide Series raced at Indy on Saturday. Here's the top 5. Finishing 5th, Joey Logano. 4th, Kevin Harvick. Matt Kenseth finished 3rd, Kyle Busch finished 2nd. And Ty Dillon won the race. I didn't catch any of that race because I was at the track all day covering legends and stuff like that, and it was actually a really fun day. I enjoyed being there. We'll wait the clock out. Road course post-race interviews. It will be up on YouTube in an hour. For you, it's already up. There you go. Now on to the Formula 1 segment, which is already recorded. So now, let's go out to Devin, or over to Devin, for the Formula 1 segment. Go ahead, Devin. Now to the F1 segment with our Racing Hotspot Formula 1 analyst, Mr. Peter Long. He looks like he just got done coaching a soccer game or something.
Oh no, I was just watching some TV.
Laid back. Makes sense.
Lazy son.
Okay, so let's go over our top 5 real quick here. Finishing 5th was Felipe Massa. 4th was Nico Rosberg. Lewis Hamilton finished 3rd. Fernando Alonso finished 2nd. And Daniel Ricciardo won the race. We were talking before and you said how it started in the wets and it dried up. I guess talk to us a little bit about the race.
Well, I mean, qualifying didn't go so good for Lewis Hamilton. His car caught on fire on his outlap in Q1, so he ended up 21st on the grid. He actually ended up starting from pit lane. Now, never in the history of F1 has anybody won a race from pit lane. And of course, Nico Rosberg, his teammate at Mercedes, ended up qualifying first, winning pole. So it looked like Lewis Hamilton, who was trailing 14 points in a championship, had just dug himself a little hole, especially after last weekend with, Nico Rosberg winning and Hamilton being able to claw back from 20th all the way to 3rd. It seemed that was a crazy feat last weekend. Great race, but, he needed to do better this weekend, and he was certainly at a track where he dominated the timesheets in all practice runs, and again, just had some bad luck in qualifying. So it didn't look good. But the start went well for Nico Rosberg. Of course, we had some rain, so they were on intermediates tires, which are wet tires, and he did well on the start. Vettel, who had qualified second, actually lost 2 spots right off the bat, so he didn't do too well. He ended up, I believe, 9th today.
I can look that up.
7th. Ended up 7th today. So he dropped 5 spots in the race. Now, Hamilton just had a phenomenal race going in. A couple of things that helped him today were safety cars. Because right after that accident, a lot of people decided there was an accident. I'm trying to think, it was one of the caterers basically T-boned the wall, wrecked his car. So they had a safety car, And during that safety car, a lot of people went to dry tires, and And of course, it bunched up the field, which was good because by that point, Hamilton had passed a few people. I think he was 13th at that point. So it bunched up the field. And then there was another accident, another safety car. So that bunched up the field again. So again, always playing into Hamilton's hand. And in the end, Hamilton had some dry tires, but the harder compound, he went like 30 laps, I think, with them, maybe even more. And his tires just died at the end, but he ended up third. He almost could have won that race, but Ricciardo had some fresh tires, made a nice pass on Hamilton, then made a pass on Alonso. Alonso also had some really raw, soft tires. He went 30 laps, I think, on those too. Crazy race for Alonso, finishing second. Awesome for Hamilton to go from pit row all the way to third. Rosberg went from first to fourth, having been on pole. But I guess the big story today is Hamilton was asked on the radio to let Rosberg go by, and he didn't. And his reasoning was he was too far behind. And I watched the race. It didn't look like Rosberg was anywhere near ready to pass him. If he would have been on his gearbox, I'm sure Hamilton would have let him go by. But they expected him to slow down. And, of course, Hamilton did not want to slow down because if he slowed down, he might not have been able to be in the top three. He was still thinking he could win this race because Ricciardo and he thought Alonso was still going to pit. Only Ricciardo pitted, though. So I guess there's going to be some more fireworks in the Mercedes with those two drivers. And now I think the gloves are off. So he ended up finishing third, Rosberg fourth. So the 14-point lead went down to 11th, which I think is a great outcome for Lewis Hamilton considering what happened in qualifying.
All right. That's basically the Hungarian Grand Prix in a nutshell.
Right.
So you were talking a little bit about Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg, the let him pass, and you said the fireworks and stuff, like starting fireworks. Do you think that these guys are going to be teammates next year? Or are they in contracts they can't leave, or is this a one-year thing?
I know Nico Rosberg just signed an extension on his contract, so he's definitely staying, and I think Hamilton plans on staying also. It's just normal for the drivers to want to win, and they have the same hardware, so they want to be better than the next guy. And I think Rosberg and Hamilton have been, Hamilton had the better first half of the year, or the first 6 races anyways, and the last 4 have been more for Nico Rosberg. So, it's just getting close, and again, there has been fireworks before. There has been some controversy, but today when they say he didn't let him pass, again, I don't think a lot of people saw it that way. But it's top story on CNN tonight because they're talking about Ricciardo and, of course, they're talking about Hamilton and Rosberg. So, interesting.
It must
that
be.
Other people are seeing it that way. I didn't really see it as Rosberg. And at the post-race interviews, they asked Hamilton on the podium, about this incident about him passing. He says, well, if he was close enough, I'd let him pass, but I wasn't going to slow down to let him pass, He just would never made it close enough to me to be able to pass me, so, which I think is true.
Well, it's got to be big when the news stations are covering it, because usually they don't cover racing that much. But
right. The Ricciardo's second win, awesome for the Australian. Unlikely win for Red Bull. Last race he won was in Montreal. That was his first win ever. So now he's got 2 wins on the season. He's got more points than Vettel, who's the 4-time world champion, his partner over at Red Bull. So Ricciardo's done very, very well in his first 6 months at Red Bull.
All right. We'll try to keep this interview or segment a little short because I know you said Sunday's your relaxing day. Anything else you would like to say? I know you were in a summer break basically now until August 24th. So anything you'd like to say before we...
Yeah, happy vacation. Formula One is on vacation for 3 weekends, so I believe the next race is in a month. I don't know. I don't have it in front of me, but August 24th is the next race?
Mm-hmm.
So that's 4 weeks from now.
Wow. All right. So summer break for them.
You'll be going back to school, Devin.
Shh. I don't want to think about that yet. Don't bring that up yet.
The next time we have an F1 segment on Racing Hotspot. Devin will be back in school.
Yes. Actually, I think it'll be the day before I go back to school, so.
Right.
Mama, I'm going upstairs.
Okay.
Back to school. Freshman in high school. Thanks.
Wow.
Thanks, Peter. So, yeah, do you think that this, the Nico Rosberg, Lewis Hamilton rivalry, quote unquote, like, not really, but kind of is, will sizzle out throughout the vacation, or do you think it's going to stay where it is until they get back?
I think if anything, again, they're going to be on vacation, so I think right now after this race, they're just going to go their own way. They'll probably have some meetings in between now and then, so there will be, I'm sure it'll be a settled affair by the time we get to the next race. But listen, it's not over. I mean, it'll never be over. It'll be over when the season's over, and then it'll start over again next year. I mean, that's just the nature of the sport. And I think that if anything, this is going to get more intense as the number of races dwindle. Because when Hamilton had the bad luck in the first race of the season where Nico Rosberg, won, and it took him a few races to get back. He basically ended up in second for the next 4 races, and before he won one, and was able to take the, or he ended up winning a lot of races, but Rosberg was able to get second a lot. So he had a lot of bad luck, Hamilton, and it took him a long time to get back to the lead, and then he lost it again, and he just had a lot of bad luck. So he knows as there's less races left, the racing will be more intense, So there was no way he was letting them by today,
All right. Well, I guess we'll cut the segment short here. Quick segment this week. So, no offense when I say this, I'm not looking forward to the next segment. But, but yeah, so we'll see you in a couple weeks, Peter. And until we see you then, have a happy 4 weeks.
All right, man. Take care.
Okay, so that's your Formula One segment. Thank you, Devin and Peter, for doing that. Yeah. Red Bull Global Rallycross raced at Charlotte on the dirt track. Here's your top 5. Finishing 5th, Scott Speed, Joni Wynnum finished 4th, Nelson Piquet Jr. finished 3rd. Sorel Isaacson finished 2nd, and Ken Block won the race. Now we're starting to see our Rallycross regulars. The Tudor United Sports Car Championship raced Friday night, different time, but they raced on the road course at Indianapolis, the Brickyard Grand Prix. So, here we go. Prototypes. Here's your top 5. The number 1 team finished 5th, the 10 team finished 4th, the 90 team finished 3rd, 01 team finished 2nd, and the 5 team won. 5 team won the Rolex 24-hour race too, so it's a pretty big race, pretty big, good team. Prototype Challenge, top 5. 52 team finished 5th, the 38 team finished 4th, the 54 team finished 3rd, the 09 team finished 2nd, and the 08 team won the race, won their class. GT Daytona, top 5. The 4 team finished 5th, the 30 team finished 4th, the 912 car finished, or 912 team finished 3rd, the 62 team finished 2nd, and the 93 team won the race. GT Le Mans, top 5. Here's your finishing 5th, the 22 team. The 555 team finished 4th, the 33 team finished 3rd, the 48 team finished 2nd, and the 63 team won the race, or won their class. So that's going to bring us to our first break. On the other side of this break, we'll have Dave, and we'll go over the NASCAR topic, the points championship, and the final lap. We'll take you right to the end of the show. So, we'll be right back. Welcome back live here to Racing Hotspot Weekend Roundup. So I lied to you before the commercial break because I said he was going to be on Skype, but instead he decided to come through the computer, and now he's here right now. So, welcome, Dave Poslusny, to
So what do we call this? This is that new thing you just found?
Google Hangout.
Google Hangouts? Came through Google Hangouts and just suddenly I'm here.
Well, yeah, so let's get right into things here. After the break, NASCAR had a big weekend. They raced Eldora Wednesday, then the Nationwide Saturday, and the Cup Sunday. We'll get to your notes in a minute. But for the Brickyard 400, here's your top 5. Finishing 5th, Joey Logano. Matt Kenseth finished 4th. Denny Hamlin finished 3rd. Kyle Busch finished 2nd. And Jeff Gordon won the race, now a 5-time Brickyard champion.
Yep, which is sweet. Actually, it's tied with basically what I consider the best driver in the world.
Yeah, Michael Schumacher and other drivers too. But
actually, no, just Michael Schumacher.
Really?
Yeah, it's the only one with 5.
Oh yeah, because Helio Castroneves is 4.
4, and so was Jimmy Johnson, 4. And obviously he was trying to get his 5th, but that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah. Alright, well, now to your notes here, so I'll slide over.
Well, if you want to just jump right on that, how about Gibbs Racing?
Yeah, exactly. Through all 3 in the top 5.
Yeah, well, 3 in the top 4.
Good point.
Yeah, even better. What did you hear anything about Denny Hamlin though? I heard that he was called on post-race inspection.
I did not. I can look it up real quick.
I thought I might have sent it to you actually.
You might have. I haven't been getting many notifications on Facebook lately. I don't know why, but
you know what? Contrary, they haven't made a decision. They won't until Tuesday, as we already know.
yeah.
But even at that, still can't take the position away. I mean, they can give him a penalty, a points penalty, or something like that.
Yeah, they won't say anything till tomorrow, if anything.
Pretty sure I sent it to you on Facebook, but I'm not sure.
I can quickly look, but you had a couple notes here. Great job by Jeff Gordon. Congratulations on your 5th Brickyard. Nice space there. When,
You know, in proper English, it would be that way, so don't be picking on me.
yes, agreed. But when it comes to racing terms, they don't have a space there.
And great job on Joe Gibbs Racing, so we already covered that.
Yeah, and then
Did you even understand what I meant by that?
yes, because Tudor
yeah.
is like 80 cars in itself.
Yeah, well, there was 71 teams then. Or 72. It was 71 or 72. Not all wound up racing, but that's how many actually showed up. So now you have all of those and all the tractor trailers that go with them. You know what I mean? There's a lot to that. Plus they have sales trailers too, where they sell stuff like NASCAR does.
Well,
Now you got all the nationwide teams, or plus a couple, because 2 did not qualify for the race at all, so they had to be there originally. So that was 2 extra trucks, all of their sales trucks, which isn't
well, yeah, they
doesn't
really-
amount to a whole lot compared to.
Cup and Nationwide kind of
Cup.
combined to one.
Yeah, that's a
you
good
weren't
point.
there
Yeah,
actually.
No, that's a good point.
You weren't there. Just to go off of that real quick, one trailer had 5 different teams in it.
Really?
Yeah, like Gil Pricey in September, it had Chip Ganassi. Then it had Richard Petty Motorsports. It had RCR in it. It was all like in one trailer.
So they're trying to find ways to be more efficient, which
Yeah.
is that's good. That's a
Kurt,
good thing though.
Kurt
Really.
Busch didn't have his own trailer. It was Stewart and Busch.
Yeah, speaking of Joe Gibbs, 'cause he's the one that started that. With
Yeah.
that whole routine out to Vegas and whatnot, how they just did the switch.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I know, but with the merchandise haulers, they have combined it into like, guess what? You have 5 different teams, each team having 2 drivers, so you have 10 drivers in one hauler. That might be interesting.
Early signs of the alliance. That's what
Yeah.
it sounds like. Sounds like the guys getting together saying, "Hey, we could save money if we just put all our stuff on one trailer and we go from there." And it makes sense. And
Next year you just have
it's
one
efficient.
hauler.
It's efficient. It's better for the environment.
Yeah.
It's better for their overall costs. It'll probably work out better for the tracks because it won't be taking up all that space. There's other things now that they can do.
Yeah.
Even maybe set up rides and stuff like that for the younger kids. You know what I mean? There's a lot that could be done with that.
They already did that with Fox Sports. I don't know if you knew that. They didn't have a Fox Sports trailer at the track this year. Like the stage.
Right.
Because they're doing it race days in Charlotte and they have the reporters up
Up,
here.
up here, yeah. I was
And
watching
that-
it on TV.
You said more efficient, but in that space, you know, the go-karting by the south entrance,
Mm-hmm.
now they're in that space.
Ah, cool.
So it's good because people coming in looking at the
Yeah, it
display
brought,
lot,
yeah, and brought the go-karts a lot closer to the,
Yeah,
the whole
exactly.
camping thing. That's cool.
they can, people coming in only on Sunday can look and be like, oh wow, go-karts, hey, you want to race?
Yeah,
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
you,
sure,
didn't,
let's
you,
go.
didn't you also have some kind of a sling run or
Zip line.
Zip line, yeah, zip line. That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
they had a zip line going along the back drop of it.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna catch me on it, but it's a cool idea.
Next thing you know it, there's Dave! But, yeah, and with the Tudor guys, they do, like Chip Ganassi, I think has, no, I can't say that. I was going to say one trailer, but think about it, they bring up 2 primary cars and enough parts to build a second car, so they have to have more than one trailer.
Not true. They can all fit in one trailer. They've done it. That efficiency came in when they started traveling the world. When they were going in different places, it was actually Indy that got best at that, and with their workings with FedEx,
Mm-hmm.
how they pack everything, but then yet they at the same time you still got to fly over your teams and whatnot, which obviously aren't going on FedEx cargo ships or planes, should I say? But they have actually started even using ships instead of just the planes.
Drive your haul up on
Yeah,
the ship.
I
So-
believe it was the Tudor series before they were the Tudor series back in what was it, last year or the year before. They actually started planning so far ahead of time. It was Viper actually, Dodge. That did
Okay.
it. They started planning so far ahead of time. They shipped the cars over by ship.
Huh.
Then the equipment went on a plane because they needed the equipment to still be here for whatever they were racing, wherever they were racing. You know, because it takes, you know, a ship doesn't, you know, it's not
It's
there
not
in a week.
overnight.
Yeah, it's not going to fly you right over there. But what they started doing was they literally were building and prepping the cars, packing them into these big containers, putting them on ships, sending them, and then when it had like a day or 2 left before it was going to arrive, then they'd start sending over the equipment
And
that
then
they
the team came.
that they would have needed while they were still here, and then the team flies over and everything all comes together, and it actually worked out really well. So they're doing that everywhere now.
So they package the cars. Guess what I got for Christmas? I got a Dodge Viper!
Well, and most Tudor cars, like your, actually just about anything in any different division, I think about it, cars only go this high. You know, the Corvettes are probably, I don't know, I don't want to get a screen here, but probably about here when you see the driver standing next to them.
Yeah,
And the drivers are generally a little shorter than I am.
yeah.
So you got to imagine with a tractor trailer, you could easily take the cars, put them up the ramp, slide them into the top of the trailer, and in that trailer you'd still have enough room for your shop, your parts, your pieces, your crew area, the whole kit and caboodle below the cars.
Hmm.
So you could easily fit, like you said, 2 complete cars and the complete other car and parts
Yeah.
in one trailer.
It was,
So they wouldn't need 2.
to go off of that, Sean Buffington, they have a huge trailer like the race teams do.
Right.
And by the way, Sean, if you're watching this, thank you so much for letting us use your tailgate as our stage. You'll see the videos. But in his trailer, he has a top compartment that's probably about that. Well, it's enough to fit a Legends car in it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's clear all the way back. And then underneath, they have at least 3/4 of the trailer open. And it's primarily because they have a golf cart that they pull in there. But it also, he said that he's able to hold, I think, like 3 Legends cars with the golf cart
Yeah.
in that trailer.
Oh, I
Because
believe
he has 3 up top
Well,
and then the golf cart.
your prototypes, those things are what? Like 3 feet tall? I mean,
Yeah.
the height of the car is... it's
Well,
a-
because that's open cockpit. Prototype
well, not all
challenge.
of them, but yeah, not all of them, but still, even at that, they're still very low. They're
Yeah.
very low, very aerodynamic, and you could just squeeze them in and just put them up, like you're throwing them in the attic of the trailer, you know,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. But even at that, you have all 3 major series. At first, I thought ARCA was there too, because ARCA was running at the Little Indy.
Yeah, the Lucas Oil.
And yeah, when I first saw that it was at India, I'm going, oh my God, can you? That's what made me have that thought in the first place. I'm like, so the whole ARCA series, the whole Nationwide series, the whole Cup series, and Tudor all in one. That is a big place.
Well, Indy is. I don't know if you noticed this. when they Friday during practice when they did aerial views,
Yep.
the infield was clear because they had the tutor guys. But within Saturday when they had the aerial views, along the back straightaway of the road course, they had the merchandise haulers and
Yep.
stuff like that. So it
They
was
were probably just waiting outside to
Yeah.
move in as the other trucks were going out.
yeah.
It must be really interesting organizing something that large though. And you've never been to Indy?
Nope.
I have.
Yeah.
And it is huge. It's just a tremendous facility. Like you've been to Daytona, and Daytona's big. But when you get to Indy, Indy's like overwhelming big.
Well, because you can't see the back straightaway because if you're staying in the main
Well,
grandstand.
it's like more like a big giant rectangle as opposed to a giant oval where it's,
Yeah.
and it's very flat too. I shouldn't say very flat, but it's way flatter than Daytona, obviously.
Oh.
Daytona, you can see,
the banking.
the banking and whatnot as you're looking at it. With Indy, you don't have a chance of seeing that from. I don't think there's any point of view that you could be sitting in to see the whole track.
Except unless you're on top of the tower in
Pagoda.
the middle.
The pagoda.
Pagoda.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's really.
Is it pagoda or pagoda? Pagoda.
I
think
didn't
it's
even
with
know.
a P.
I didn't even know it was called that.
Well, it's like a. I don't want to insult any nations, but it's like a Japanese thing.
Yeah,
Like
no.
the style, I think it's Japanese. I could be wrong on that one. If I am, I'm very sorry. But yeah, it's called a pagoda. Well, that's at least what they've always called it, as long as I can remember. I've been in it. It's kind of cool. You didn't get to stay. Only the Buko Bucks gets to stay.
Wonder why. So I can't think of anything else to add to the NASCAR topic other than where did my nationwide stuff go?
Yeah, sorry.
So now moving on, we're gonna go back. We're gonna go reverse. The trucks raced at Eldora.
Was I right in what I said there?
What?
The first line.
Yes.
It really did. Like it was almost as if it was wet, but they weren't spitting up any water. So
Yeah.
it looked like they were literally riding around on ice, which I think would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to see them try that.
But my mom and I were watching this race. I was following it on Twitter. I don't know if you caught that. But I was following it on Twitter. We're gonna try to keep the notes short here. And we were watching the race. My mom's sitting next to me, and she goes, "Holy cow! Why are they slide? Why are they spinning out?" I'm like, they're supposed to be doing that. She goes, "But when they come up here, they don't." I'm like, "Well, that's because our track's asphalt. That's dirt." She goes, "That's dirt? It looks like asphalt." I'm like, they do it pretty
I would
good.
say it looked more like frozen mud, but it definitely. I don't know. I love it though. I think they should just keep doing it. I think we should get nationwide in on it.
Yeah, and yeah, but she was on the
I don't
race.
think I'd put the cup cars on it though. I think
Not yet.
That would really be maybe a bigger track, because I think you'd be pushing your luck. That's a lot more horsepower. Actually, the truck in the Cup Series aren't that far off. But yeah, I don't know.
So you tell the drivers, guess what? If you use the full horsepower, you're going in the wall. Then they have to learn to. You know what I mean?
Maybe do Daytona again, the way it used to be.
Putting dirt up on it.
No, not on the track. Bring it out to the beach where it used to be. The original Daytona.
That's gonna be a little bit harder because that sand, as soon as it dries, it becomes very pebbly and.
Oh, I thought it was like rock hard when I was on it. I drove down
Well,
Daytona
we
Beach.
did too, but there was only like one lane when we went, and everything else was beach. We got stuck in the dirt.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Who's we?
No, my aunt Dee and my grandmother. Yeah, that was fun.
No insult.
No, no. But on the restarts, how they went like 5-6 wide through the corners. My mom was like, "How? They're gonna wreck." I'm like, "No, they're not." She goes, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Watch," and then they just right back in line. She's like,
Yeah.
"How is that possible?" I'm like, "They're on dirt, Mom. They can slide that." She goes, "Devin," I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "Where's the nearest dirt track?" I'm like, "Probably somewhere in New Hampshire." We've been to Lebanon
Yeah,
Valley.
I'm pretty sure there is one.
But we went to Lebanon Valley, which is a 5/8 of a mile oval, I think, and it's high banked. And of course, as soon as we bought tickets, they went, "Sorry, we're gonna have to cancel the race because of rain." But yeah, that was the.
Racing on dirt and you're worried about rain.
But she's like hooked. She wants to go to a dirt race. I'm like, so make sure to wear your worst clothes and goggles. But
Or don't sit so close.
Yeah. But anyways, Bubba Wallace or Darrell Wallace Jr. He's on a tear.
Yeah, he is.
The entire KBM team or Toyotas in general. They
11 of the last 15 races.
Yeah, exactly. 10 of
And actually, that's not just Toyota, but KBM. 11 of the last 15 races. That's just insane.
Yeah.
They definitely got this season dominated. Oh, yeah, 8 of 10. So I did make the notes on it.
Good job.
Well, this is why I like having the notes, but I still can't figure out where my nationwide notes went. Not that there was much to it. It's just, Kyle finishing second, and it was nice to see, as I mentioned earlier, it's nice to see
regular.
a nationwide regular actually beat the Cup guys like that.
Yeah.
Because like I said to you, it was nationwide driver, Cup. It was all Cup drivers. I don't know if you have it on there.
Yep. Nationwide, Cup. Yep.
So top 5 was all Cup except for the winner.
Which is
just
good to
nice.
see.
Yeah, it's nice to see.
It's usually like the other way around. Winner, Cup, second place,
Well,
nationwide.
I almost think it's unfair in a way, but what they did when they made the points change, that made a big difference in my opinion. Instead of these guys taking the points away from them, well, I guess technically they still are, but they can't accumulate points, so they can't take like 2 championships.
Yeah. But anyways, you said you vote nationwide giving this a shot. The trucks. The
Yeah,
dirt.
without a doubt.
That's a little bit harder though, because the way they have to do the dirt tracks, they have to do it in the middle of the week because they have weekly series scheduled every week, so they can't just say, "Oh, excuse us, we're NASCAR, get out of the way." You know what I mean?
Well, they could.
Well, they could, but they'd rather not.
That would take future planning. There's no reason why you couldn't alter what happens in the future. I mean, do they have every weekend filled?
I think so.
And even if that's the case, then why couldn't Nationwide do a Thursday night?
Have trucks.
Do the
Wednesday.
truck Wednesday, the Nationwide on Thursday, and then maybe followed by a Friday night race like Richmond or something like that for the Cup guys. That kind of a thing. Try to combine it up. That's what these people do. They figure that stuff out, schedule and whatnot.
Yeah, but other than that, trucks were good. Bubba Wallace did a perfect dirt donut.
Yep.
Who knew that he could make a donut so dark in the dirt? Like on the ovals, you are used to it because they're burning rubber, but on the dirt, you wouldn't expect that. Even though they go ahead and and it's right there, perfect. But
Oh, that reminds me. One of the things that I saw, I got to be honest, I didn't really approve of was what was it? Ty Dillon doing a donut across the bricks.
I saw that.
I did not approve.
He spun across the bricks and then just jammed the brake and did the rest of the burnout on the other side. But I looked at it and went,
You think
you
think he did it by accident? Or?
he might have. But either way, I looked at it and went, not it on kissing that spot.
Right. I'm sure he was overly excited to begin with.
Well, you wanted the brickyard. What else do you expect? But, yeah. We'll move on here.
Now, that was actually his first nationwide win, too, wasn't it? Yeah, so that's
This is
spectacular.
he's
not
rookie.
only your first nationwide win, but at Indy.
Guess
Or
what, guys?
the Brickyard.
I'm a rookie and I just got my first nationwide win at the Brickyard. Sounds good to me. Moving on now, as your laptop's about to die. The points championship. We'll say the winners, as you can see the rest. Kristen had Kyle Busch for the win. Trooper had Kevin Harvick for the win. I had Jimmy Johnson for the win. Dave had Kurt Busch for the win. Joe had Tony Stewart for the win. And Jeff Gordon had... Art had Jeff Gordon for the win. Right. Looking ahead now to... Oh, I don't know what happened there with that being cut off. But either way. Kristen got 0. Trooper got 5th place. I got 4th place. Dave, you would have won if Art didn't pick the actual winner.
Mm-hmm.
But Dave had...
Now, didn't Kyle finish second?
Yes.
So Kristen doesn't get anything for that?
No, because she didn't have Kyle Busch. Well, when we go to second place, we go like 5th place. Who finished better out of these guys? Okay, he did.
Oh,
He did.
right,
He
I
did.
gotcha.
He finished 2nd. You don't get any extra points.
But I
he's
guess
still-
okay, but I was the winner in that column.
Yes, we do it by the columns.
Gotcha. Okay.
But
I went to again. I still don't get the rules, but I'm pretty sure he changes them just how he needs them.
Dave.
But then again, you know what? I guess I can take that back at this point in time because you ain't winning.
No, I'm like deep. You'll see in a
I know
minute.
if I was in control of it, I'd be winning.
You're gonna do a happy dance in a minute then. Dave had 3rd and 2nd, equaling 14. Joe had 0, and Art had 1 position. He got 1st place, but he picked the exact winner, giving him extra 5 points. 15 points. Now let's look at the standings. Wait for it.
It's alright. I already told you. I keep telling you every week I'm coming.
Oh, you definitely came. Dave has moved up to 2nd place in the standings. Art is still the leader with 148 points. Dave is 2nd, 20 points back. Whoops. Joe is in 3rd, 25 points back. I am in 3rd, 39 points back. 4th, 39 points back. Trooper's in 5th, 53 points. And Kristen is in 6th, 75 points. She's deeper in debt more than her actual
Who were the
points.
ones that came in late?
Trooper and Kristen.
Trooper, okay. Because I had said they could catch us, but they probably could have.
Yeah.
Because I was way down and.
But you got to think about it.
I'm chasing the old man.
Well, you got to think about it this way, though. Ready? Art, not working. You, not working. Joe, not working. Me, not working. Working. So it's kind of like, hey, Mom, I need your picks. All right, where are we going? We're going to Pocono. All right, I'm going to throw Dave Blaney for first. No offense, Dave Blaney, if you're watching this. I know, Mike Joy, you might be watching this because we'll talk about that in a minute. But no offense intended, but she doesn't really, she's not into it, one, like we are. Like, we look at Pocono and we go, all right, Jimmy Johnson has won there, but Junior won there in June.
Oh, she wanted in it.
What?
She wanted in it.
No, we know that, but yeah. Whatever. But, come chase time, she's going to go right to going to be 3rd, if it holds right now, because Art would be 1st, Joe would be 2nd, she'd be 3rd. So, with wins. So, I think she might be taking the approach like the current chase standings. Get the wins. Doesn't matter about the points. Just get the wins. This way she can get into the chase.
I think she get lucky on the 3 wins.
Yep. Kristen is in the lead with the Rookie of the Year challenge. Much different. 30 points. Troopers in 2nd, 27 points. Arts in 3rd, 24. And Joe is in 4th, 11. Scroll down here. Indianapolis, Art. We have Pocono, Watkins Glen, Michigan, Bristol, Atlanta, Richmond, and then the chase begins.
Now, and when it comes to the chase, are we're gonna get any extra points, fur points, like they get?
What do you mean?
Like what they were talking about with going into the chase after Indy, they were talking about it, and I got a little bit confused because, as usual, when it comes to all those point things, I'm not sure if it's this or what, or it gets confusing. They were saying how now Gordon has moved up like 4 positions as of the chase start, because not only does he have that additional win, but he's also jumped in points. So the points matter just as well as the wins. Are we doing that? Because if I work my way to 1st and I only have 2 wins, it's going to drop me all the way down to 4th. That wouldn't be fair.
In all honesty, I wasn't thinking about it that way.
Yeah,
I think
of course you weren't. Well, you can be 1st.
No, I'm gonna be
How
like
many wins do you have?
2, same as you. But the way we're going to do it is, I explained this to you, I think last week or the week before. As soon as the 3 with the most wins get out of the way and we are tied, we're gonna go by points. So you'll be 4th because you're ahead of Trooper and I. You know what?
I don't know if I'm the points leader by the time we get to the chase. I think I should get some kind of bonus, but you can't make the rules as we go along.
Yeah.
Well, most people can. He does.
I don't. Okay, I'm just giving the example here.
And learning how to type at the same time.
Shut up. That's what the current chase standings would look like. Wins will be wiped, stuff like that. Now, I'm not going to touch this. I'm actually going to delete all the names, but that's what they would look like.
So I need a couple wins.
Yes.
Now, when you say wins, that means I gotta literally name the winner, or am I the winner for the week? What is it? What is it? What is a win to us?
If you have the most points out of all of us. So Ark just got lucky because he actually got the winner. But last week...
So I would be 3 if he didn't pick the winner.
Yeah.
So you had 1 more point than I did.
Yep. Like last week, hold on.
So a win is, it doesn't matter who you pick. Well, I mean, obviously it matters who you pick, but you pick the best points for that week, you win that week, and that's considered a win.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So when we get to this stage right here, and I put out the amount that you got, and if you're the most out of everybody, then you win. It's not the situation of, well, Kristen picked the winner, so she wins. No, it's the
If you pick the winner, you get 5 extra points.
Yeah, that's just an added, guess what, more incentive. Like here, you and Kristen tied. I don't know who won that one. But I think I threw her as the winner because she actually picked, she had first. You know what I mean? Like she got 10, you had to build up. So if that, yeah, I don't know. We'll see when we get to chase time. This is the first year that the...
Our own point system is
Yeah.
almost as confusing as NASCAR's. Excellent.
Yep. Moving on now to the final lap, end out the show. IndyCar is Sunday, 3 p.m. They're racing... hold on. What the... Not what I was trying to do. While that's loading...
I couldn't even pronounce any of that. What was that?
Truck Series is Saturday, 1 p.m. on Fox Sports 1 there at Pocono. Nationwide Series Saturday, 8 p.m. ESPN there at Iowa. The Cup Series is Sunday, 1 p.m. ESPN. Their IndyCar is at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. I didn't know that, but yep, that.
So they're out by Billy.
Yep. So you want to go?
Yeah, I wish.
So
I'm one if we were driving. It's a lot longer to drive than you think it is.
I believe it.
Oh, I found that out the hard way. Yeah, you look at the big map. Oh, it's right there. I pulled a Kim, as you would call it, because Kim's like, well, it's only this far. Depends on the scale of the map you're looking at. But no, if you look at a map of the United States, Ohio does not look like it's that far from us, but it's a ride.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Here comes my sister.
And there goes.
Here goes my sister. Anyway, that's going to do it for our show this week. Here comes my dad and sister. That's going to do it for our show this week. Make sure to join us next week when we recap IndyCar, NASCAR. That's the only 2 topics. We'll be in different locations actually next week. Well, yes and no, because we're going to New York next weekend, my mom and I, and Caitlin.
Okay.
But we might be back Sunday night in time for show. So, we'll see how that goes.
Or if you wanted to work, you can always do it Monday, too.
Yeah, no, I know.
Because you're still on vacation.
I found out that I have a month left of vacation and I go to high school.
When does school start?
I have my freshman orientation on the 25th of August.
I think it's the same day I'm leaving for Florida.
Lucky you. Can I come?
See, that's another thing, too. I'll be in Florida for 3 weeks, so we're going to have to, I guess we'll have to use that new thing you were showing me.
Yeah, Google Hangouts is what we're going to be using. We're planning to use when we do voice video chat type things, because Skype, it seems to be working, but it's not really
I'm willing to bet it's going to turn out to be the same, because it's probably using the same type of programming and whatnot. But
we can test it when you get home.
See.
I don't know, or later. I don't know, whatever. But that's going to do it for our show. Make sure to join us next week. Like I said, we're going to recap IndyCar, NASCAR, stuff like that. We won't have any Legends car racing coverage next weekend, sadly. Sad because of that. But we will possibly have a surprise for you guys. I know Sean and Tom and them watch this, so I won't say what it is. But, yeah, I'll tell you after. So,
I just want to say I'm glad to be back.
yep, glad to be back, and glad you're feeling better.
That I am. Still got a little bit of a ways to go.
But much better than what you were a couple months ago. We're rambling on. That's going to do it. Until we see each other next weekend, goodbye, everybody.